This video is for those who want to create an archive-based mod with a new level structure for the original System Shock. I will describe the limits of the game engine and how to create a completely empty archive. For this I'm using the tools from the deck package of InkyBlackness in version 0.8.0. Future releases might have a different interface, yet the concept remains the same. What do I mean with archive? The game of System Shock, more specifically the station Citadel and all of its content, is stored in an archive file. When a new game is started, the engine loads the archive from the file called archive.dat. When the engine saves the game, it creates a new archive and stores it as one of the save game files. This means save games are a snapshot of the whole game, including the level structure. Technically, they are archives as well. Though, when I say archive, I generally refer to the file archive.dat. This save game mechanism also means that releasing an update to an archive-based mod will not patch save games. Whatever error was in the original archive, which was used to start the game, will live on in the save games. Players will always have to start a new game in order to benefit from the changes to the archive. Since the game editor does not support wiping or creating new levels, I recommend using the tool construct to create an empty archive. Or you could simply download the file that I will create in a moment. The engine supports archives with up to 16 levels, numbered 0 to 15. Of these 16 levels, exactly 3 specific levels must be cyberspace levels: 10, 14 and 15. Despite the limitations, Construct allows to create an archive file that deviates from these limits. You may play around, trying to bend the rules, though I suspect the majority of mods will stick to the known working configuration. The levels parameter specifies which levels shall be created and what type they are. This is done with a series of the characters N for none, R for real world and C for cyberspace. The default creates an archive with only level 1 initialized. The engine always starts a new game on level 1 at a specific location. This is hard-coded and cannot be changed. Though there is a way to circumvent this limitation, which I will show in another video. I recommend creating an empty archive with all 16 levels initialized, since currently no tool from InkyBlackness supports adding levels to an existing archive. This is how to create the archive. Then copy the archive file to the resources. Let's start a game and have a look. Although Construct created a solid level, it left the starting tile open, because if Hacker ends up in a solid tile, the engine crashes. This brings me to the last limitation I want to mention in this video. Each level has a fixed size of 64 by 64 tiles. Of these tiles, the outermost ones must be solid. If they are not, graphical errors occur and entering them will lock up the engine and/or crash it. To summarize, the archive file is the template for new games, containing level structure and level content. Save games are a snapshot of the game. Patching archives will not fix save games. The engine supports 16 levels, numbered 0 to 15, of which 10, 14 and 15 need to be cyberspace. Each level has a size of 64 by 64 tiles, with a usable space of 62 by 62 tiles. Always keep a backup of your files, and don't forget to sort the fries.